Howdy, Mr. Zatola here. So I've decided to go through block diagram number 6 because it's got a really just a real interesting piece to it. So just looking at the diagram here, I want to point out there is a intrusion. That's what it says. It actually pushed in intrusion of igneous rock, and your brain should be saying, well, igneous, it must have been liquid or melted magma. Okay, it's underground. Something to note about this igneous intrusion, since it was burning hot rock, liquid rock coming through, as it worked its way through, it cooked the rocks on either side of it. That cooking of rocks, you might remember way back, is called contact metamorphism. Okay, that's an identifier that you should really key into here. But also note that it cooked the rock. So let's just say it came up, it pushes up, and then flows out along the surface. Well, that'd be great because it would cook the rocks under it, most definitely. I think that makes sense. But in this case, it also cooked the rocks above it, which means layer G was there before layer F, the igneous intrusion, pushed in. That's important, which means that came through late. All right, that's a cross-cutting relationships thing. What that means is we have to remember that at some point G was there before the intrusion. Whether G was there and E were there before the intrusion is not known. Whether G was there, E was there, and then we're at the surface, uplift happened before the intrusion, that's not unknown. It just has to come after G at some point in time. If you put it after E, that's fine. All right, what else do we note? Again, our man's on the surface, so here's our erosional surface, so exposed to the atmosphere. We see an unconformity that is cut. Right, it's cut by the intrusion, so the unconformity was there before the intrusion. Sorry about my phone. We also see folding of layers D, C, I, and H, and who knows how many other layers were there, but this unconformity has completely taken them away. At some point when they were uplifted, they were eroded, and who knows what was there. Okay? So, running through this fairly rapid pace, we have deposition of D, C, I, and H. So, get to my correct pen. And in order D, C, I, and H. Okay, deposition of those. If we go back up to our diagram, once these are taken care of, it looks like there's a folding event. So we have folding that leads to this unconformity, and the three parts to our unconformity are uplift, erosion when exposed to the surface atmosphere, and subsidence back underwater. This is superposition. All right, the folding is cross-cutting relationships. These three are the unconformity. All right, now we're back underwater after the unconformity, and sure enough, we see a different color. We see B, we see A, there's that F, be careful. G, then E, and notice they're all pretty horizontal. That's great. Okay, so what certain things can we tell here? We know that B happened before A because of superposition, and we know that A happened before F because of superposition and because of contact metamorphism. And because of the contact metamorphism on top, we know G happened before F also. So we can, with fairly good certainty, say B, A, then G. Okay? Deposited. And that's what we're going to do. So B, A, and G. That's superposition. Super P. Oh, that's not a P, that's an R. Super P. Okay. Now, it's up to you. Do you want to say F came in after G? Do you want to lay down E and then do F? Look, that isn't for me to tell you what to do. I personally would tell you to immediately get that igneous intrusion through here after layer G, just so you could set it up. All right, so intrusion of, and sorry, just checking. Yep, intrusion of F. And we know it's there because of cross cutting at the bottom and contact meta at the top and bottom of the actual layer tells us that it had to be after G. Okay? Now you could say deposition of E. Whoa, still working on that E. Deposition of layer E. And then our man's standing on the surface of the moon, or a woman, whomever, surface of the earth, sorry, not the moon. So we'd say uplift, erosion. Now, some of you might be thinking, is this the start of another unconformity? Certainly could be. If there was subsidence after layer E, what you would find is the layer above it would have a nice horizontal surface that would be filled in, and that would be an unconformity. But we don't have that here. We are at the surface. There is an erosional pattern going on here, and our man or woman doesn't have any snorkel gear on. Okay, great. So that is block diagram 6. Hope you guys get a kick out of the advanced pieces of this. So, all right, have a great one.